क्या क्या किया आपने, कुछ नई चीजें को लेकर आप? पॉट्स तो सब लोग बनाते हैं, आपने ऐसा क्या बनाया जो अलग था?
हमने इमोशंस दिए पॉड्स को एज अ बॉस और मे बी एज अ colleague. So I've made sure that we play cricket every day in my factory during 1:30 to 2. That is a break.
ओके, तो हाफ एन आवर
Half
क्रिकेट
an
होता
hour I play cricket with all of my people. I love that game actually. India is no less, boss. We are the innovators and we are the generation, and now India is a land of opportunity, if I would say. A lot of people are looking upon India when it comes to the manufacturing and the technological capabilities that the people of India have. That is how you keep on working, adding on new technologies, coming up, evolving yourself, and the people around you is the best way to grow your company. We are trying our level best to compete with China right now. China is the biggest manufacturer for all products in over the world, but now India is emerging, and we wish to make our nation proud by being the only pot manufacturers of this country to export to the outside world.
To state the figure, you're a 100 CR plus company and you're a market leader. Tell me more about it. Who's on air? Namaskaram. We have Harshit on the show, a young, dashing entrepreneur, magical guy. Let's ask, who is Harshit?
Harshit is basically a small kid back in 1998 who had a dream of doing something really very big. And now he is on the steps of going big, doing big things with the help of his company, Harshdeep Hortico Limited. It is quite interesting how this Harshdeep name has come out to be. It is my name along with my mother's name, Dipti. So it is Harshit plus Dipti called Harshdeep.
That's why Harshit Hortico
Hortico
Private Limited.
Limited. Correct.
So you been an entrepreneur because of the family lineage
Correct.
also, but you brought it to a new height from here on. So Harshdeep is into horticulture, and how did you get into horticulture? The family, how did they start?
So I'll start with my journey back when I was in school. I wasn't so vocal about my dreams because it was always कि इतना बड़ा मत सोचो यार, ऐसा नहीं है boss. आप सोचो. It is like when you start thinking is when you start doing things. So I saw my father struggling through his years down the line when pot industry planter when it was not so famous in India. He got it in India and he started that business out of nowhere. When he hit the niche and when I could see him जब वो बाहर जाते थे उनके टूर्स करते थे और जब घर पे आके मैं उनको देखता था जब कि is this the time to come back home. He said, Beta, this is the journey. This is what you have to do and you will have to do it. One day I was just sitting down by my balcony looking at the trees. It just hit me. They are wonderful creatures of this environment. Without them, we are nothing. We cannot breathe. We cannot function. Without trees, it gives you a state of sanity. So that is how my interest sparked in the field of horticulture and doing something great for this mother nature.
So you all also provide plants, or you just look at the pots because that's the beauty item which you create.
So it is always complementing each other. Our major goal is creating beautiful plots and planters for the flowers. So without pots, they are not decorated how they are to be, and they are not really coming up without a pot. So they both of them go hand in hand together.
What you've done is you innovated much more things when it comes to pots and all that. Tell us something more.
Sure.
क्या क्या किया आपने, कुछ नई चीजें को लेकर आप?
हाँ, जैसे हम एक नया eco material, it is another journey towards a sustainable goal that we are trying to procure a wheat, bamboo husk, rice husk from the farmers of India who just plainly burn it out, create air pollution. We procure it from them, we make it into plastic. We try to eliminate like 40% of carbon footprint that is coming out with the manufacturing of virgin plastic. So this is another step that we are taking towards this industry to take it more in a sustainable way, basically.
So that's good, yaar. I mean, when it comes to pots, competition tha kya when you started, where there were people who were doing pots, but then you took it to another level of business.
So even a pot guy has his own competition for sure. So when my father started his journey, he had his own resistance in the market. But his talent and his motivation got us to where we are, and that is what he gave it to me. Like, he was always a true believer of doing things in his own way, and he taught me the same. So that is how we started coming into this. We started coming out with new models, new features, new innovations in this industry that not many people know about it or not even have imagined about it. So that is how we grew right from a infant stage to where we are right now currently.
सो पॉट्स तो सब लोग बनाते हैं, आपने ऐसा क्या बनाया जो अलग था?
हमने इमोशंस दिए पॉट्स को,
अच्छा,
हमने एक पहचान दी पॉट को.
ओके.
लोगों को कोई बोले कि आप पॉट में क्या करते हो, पहले तो लोग सोचते हैं कि कौन सा पॉट बॉस, what pot are you doing? Then we make them understand this is a flower pot that we do. It is a very beautiful thing that you should have inside a house, and it is a integral part now for everyone's houses, everyone's villas. When they start decorating it, they do it right from the plants. That is the first step of bringing beauty
Decorating a house.
inside your closed walls.
Okay, so you all added value to it. You came up with
Yes.
innovation, came with shapes, designs. So design कौन करता है?
So designs is basically we have a team of designers right now who are working with us. But earlier it was the younger generation like me, my cousin, who used to sit down, do the sketches, and just make it more attractive for the mass audience.
You, how many people work with you? Like,
So currently there are a total of 250 people who are working with us. In that we have two divisions. That is the skilled labor, and that is like 30 to 40% of my workforce. Along with that, we have 60 to 70% of unskilled labor as well.
we all have machines which mold the pots, or
Yes. So we are using four different techniques of manufacturing a planter. So that is huge that we came into, and when the younger generation jumped into it, we tried to come up with new technologies.
you?
So we manufacture with the help of injection molding. We do it blow molding. We do it with the help of rotational molding. And another process of making planters is the fiberglass. The ones that you see in hotel lobbies and fancy planters, the decorative ones, that also we do.
250 people who work with you. What defines your leadership style? You're learning it. Then you have to be the on the floor and you have to be in charge. How do you define your style of working?
This family business is quite funny. It is not like corporate. It is not something that you have to wear an ID card, then only your attendance get punched in. It is the work that you do every day makes your presence inside the office. It is for me as a young entrepreneur. It was there were a great deal of barriers for me as well. Getting into the office, going with the staff of your boss, for example, my father. So there is always that lineage that you have in your life that chalta hai boss. We can अगर मैंने ये गलती कर दी ये चलेगा. But no, people do mistakes. Even I did my part of my mistakes, but it makes you a better person. But like crying on those mistakes is the mistake that you'll do.
Ah, okay.
Never cry on your mistakes is what I would suggest, because if you don't take the necessary risk, you won't ever succeed in what you're doing right now. So leadership, as you told me, coming on to that part, this is what I have taught my employees and my people who are working with me. Do mistakes, boss. If you do a mistake, then only you will learn how the things are to be done in a right way. So that has what made me come up with more familiar, a more friendly environment in my offices and my workforce. So as a boss or maybe as a colleague, so I've made sure that we play cricket every day in my factory during 1:30 to 2. That is a break.
Okay, so half an hour cricket.
Half an hour I play cricket with all of my people. I love that game actually. So everybody is that is where you really bond with your people when you see them in real life dealing with a game, or maybe in your real life is where you actually see them, the true self of them, and then you can help them nurture and take them ahead.
So that's the way of problem solving for you. Like
Yes.
you de-stress and you
Yes.
do things.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is very unconventional. People might think यार ये ऐसे कैसे ये वाले केबिन में बैठते हैं, ये सबके साथ कैसे खेल रहे हैं? That is the stigma that we have to hit, boss. Once you have done that, you've succeeded. People are yours. They'll work for you. They'll give themselves for you.
So when you're talking about success, you all went public. I think
Yes.
this year you all went
Yes.
public.
Yes.
And to state the figure, you're a 100 CR plus company,
Yes,
and you're a market leader. Tell me more about it.
So it was a very small dream of my father's to get public when he started his journey, and it was me who had to really take that thing public.
Okay.
So on 5th of February 2024, Harshdeep Hortico Limited went public. We got approximately 60% of subscription. On a higher note, we came out. And that journey was quite exciting for me. It was full of adrenaline to see your company on the screen, on the stock market. That is big. Even though we are listed in the SME sector, but we are doing really great on that sector as well. Coming on to your next question, we are 100 CR. Yes, we did cross the mark of 100 CR recently. And that is not a small goal for me. Like, numbers has never been an important part for me. It is always the company and the values that are connected to it.
Where did the values come from?
The values came really young to me when I was a small kid, maybe 15 years old. Everybody goes to Europe, everybody travels to fancy destinations during the summer holidays. Where I was with the laborers, I was with my people, working some work shift inside the factory, doing some things to just validify my holidays that I am using them to my own nurturing, or maybe I'm aligning my own career somewhere.
Mm-hmm. So that's good, yeah. I mean, so you made sure that you are with the people, you help your father.
Yes.
Party भी करते हो ना?
कौन नहीं करता यार?
Party भी like.
It is important if you are working, if you are putting in your efforts. Even a small layman should enjoy himself. He should go out. He should vent himself out. But discipline is where it kicks. It really makes you work. Even though if you party, I've partied like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning, and I've been in the office all tucked in at 9 a.m. in the morning with the coffee in my hand. So that is how the younger generation should understand that it is not only the fun that you have to do. You have to have fun, but before that, you have to do the work. That really makes that fun.
Very good. Yeah, your integral part on going public, right? You've been behind it.
Yes.
So, with your thought process, what is the new innovations when it comes to horticulture? What is that you are adding every time? Because before we sat here, you spoke about some very beautiful product which are coming up, which is going to take the emission from the atmosphere and all that. Right?
Yes. So we are working on a very interesting raw material, UBQ. So that is another important material that will, when we mold it into a final product, when the final product comes out of the machine, and if I keep it in the atmosphere, it will absorb the carbon emissions. So now not only your plants will absorb the carbon dioxide, but even your pot will. Even the standalone pot that is sitting over there without life will absorb the carbon emissions from your air.
What is it called?
It is the UBQ material that we're coming up with.
So that's something like a.
It is a technical term. So it is not known to a lot of people yet. We are still working on the trials, and we are hopeful that we will come up with a final product in late December.
It's going to be in the market.
It's going to be there. It's going to be live soon.
So what I see is there is basically like you kind of sorted environmental concern, carbon emission. So when you have a plant in the house or you're planting trees, it's not only the aesthetics and the beauty, it's also it changes the look and the atmosphere. And this product sounds very, very interesting. So you also look at this aspect about sustainability, also looking at how the atmosphere should be. So that's good. Yeah, that's a very good. So how do you do the production and distribution to these kind of?
So we have in-house machines. We have injection molding machines. We have rotational molding machines. Blow molding machines are there. So everything is done in-house. The manufacturing, the production, and everything. So now, as I said, that not many people know what a planter or a pot is. So it is very difficult, or I would say it is quite a journey for us when it comes to distribution and passing on your products to the end consumer.
So you are a market leader. So to sustain that, you have to be innovative. You need to be always on the go.
Yes.
Ye karna. That's when you come into the picture. You're with dad.
Your clients always look upon you at what you are bringing into the market and not your competitors. it is always you who drive the whole journey of the pots or the planters or any product, I would say, in that matter. As I was very successful in coming up with garden furniture, adding
Acha.
up a new vertical to Harshdeep was meuble. It
Okay.
is a French word for furniture.
Okay.
So, not a lot of people were manufacturing outdoor garden furniture as a whole.
Okay.
So, we tried to tap that niche and we came up with beautiful products
Acha.
like pool loungers, bar stool, bar tables,
Hmm.
loungers that can be lit. Even during the evenings, you can put the lights on inside the furniture.
So your products are already in
They are, they are.
they're on
We
sale.
launched it in the year 2022, 1 year after I joined them.
Because we used to only know of these kind of products in basically internationally we have seen that. So
Hmm.
you brought it to India.
So, affordability is the main thing when it comes to us bringing that product over here. Before, people used to import it from Italy,
Hmm.
from European countries because they are the best at doing that. But India is no less, boss. We are the innovators and we are the generation, and now India is a land of opportunity, if I would say. A lot of people are looking upon India when it comes to the manufacturing and the technological capabilities that the people of India have. The Kohinoor वापस आ जाएगा. I'm very sure.
So Arshit, you are a generation which has thoughts. You helping the purpose of Make in India.
Yeah.
And it kind of solves a lot of areas where we feel that we can do a lot of things still. Since you said you have got a product which is almost what the Italians used to make,
Hmm.
and today we can make in India, you are the innovators. You have to keep improvising and making sure that the next generation also is in mode. We need more people like you to do that. So, what is the kind of thought you want to push to the young generation? कि पार्टी करो मजा करो लेकिन ये करना है तो ये करना
See,
है.
हफ्ते में 7 दिन होते हैं.
हम्म.
मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि आप 7 के 7 दिन काम करो.
हम्म.
बॉस कोई नहीं कर पाएगा. कर सकते हैं. I'm sure people are there. But what I would say is, even if you give 2 days in a week,
Hmm.
wherein you just work or just put in your thoughts, rest 5 days are taken care of.
Hmm.
You need not run after the success. This is a very big thing that has been told by a lot of wise men. Don't run behind success. Do the work. Success will come to you.
And that's what you've been applying all
That
the
is what I've been doing.
time. And
Just do the work. And I have been on a transformation journey myself.
Hmm.
The person that you see right now is not the person you saw before 5 years.
what happened?
I was overweight. I was obese. I was 130 kgs
Okay.
back then.
Mm-hmm.
So the determination, the discipline, and everything came back then that I have, and that what I am right now, I won't be. Like if I have to run or lead a healthy lifestyle, or maybe see the returns that I'm putting into the business one day, I have to get healthy. I have to go back where I was.
So one is the physical transformation,
Yes.
which is necessary. Mental strength has to be there,
Correct.
and being motivated all the time is very necessary.
It is very necessary.
So you once you play cricket with your staff and all that is you keep doing to keep yourself motivated.
Yes.
So see, one quick thing is tell us a story यार. कुछ ऐसी बात बताओ जो तुम्हें लगता है कि it's very inspiring for
हाँ.
the next generation.
So I was a kid when I was maybe 15 years old. I was healthy. मम्मी पापा का प्यार, दादी का प्यार, नानी का प्यार, ये खा लो वो खा लो. I started gaining weight. I became 125, 130 easy, and then I joined my business.
Okay.
Then I started going to the office to my clients, and the way they looked upon me was he is not meant to be. He has his own cons. Maybe he doesn't have his mind right, or else he would have worked on himself.
Mm.
So that is where one client told me, boss, what are you doing?
Hmm.
Look at yourself, where you are, what you should be. Really sparked in me. That day, April 1st, 2020, is when it hit me. And then I just started working on myself. I had my targets set. I had made small targets, but I tried achieving them in a very short span of time. And then within 2 years, I crashed to like 80 or 85 kgs. I came down. And for that, you have to have a mental strength and your discipline has to be right. I never stopped partying even then.
Acha.
Even then, I made sure I enjoy. I go out once a week. So you have to have your principles. You have to have your values in the right position, or else our mind is very flexible, boss.
So you did was workout.
Yes, I worked out. I travel a lot.
Hmm.
I take care of the whole development and the marketing strategies of the company are my responsibility. So in a week, I approximately take 3 to 4 flights in
Okay.
a week. So in that also you have to make sure you work out in the hotels that you are in. You maybe go for a run or maybe eat clean.
Okay.
That is
But that your generation doesn't eat clean. Because when you guys from the McD's to the KFC's all are there. So how do you
Zomatomans.
manage your food then?
The food I try to go for dal khichdi every time I go out.
Acha.
I just
So you
go with
stick
the
to the staple
basics.
diet.
Staple. Because when you travel, your schedules are not fixed. You wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning, you sleep at 12 a.m. in the morning.
Hmm.
You do a whole day, and then if you go eat fancy food, it will just satisfy your soul but not your body.
Nice.
Somewhere you have to have that discipline of
Hmm.
food, diet in your life if you have to do something great. Because what you eat really develops you. Your mindset is there.
Mhm.
The whole upbringing, the whole body functioning is what you eat.
Mhm. That's good. You have a certain thought process, and so whenever you meet guys of your age, there are people who want to party till बोलते मैं 40 तक party करो because they have the money in hand.
Hmm.
So you have a what even a head on your shoulder. How do you keep managing to keep it there?
So I was not so comfortable before,
Acha.
I would say. We were struggling in the early days of our lives. My father was a struggling man. My mother was a beautiful homemaker who supported my father in every step. So I knew that partying is not only the option.
Hmm.
Spending, you can spend 100 CR in 2 days, 1 day. But earning that 100 CR takes 22 years of experience and your strength and your determination. You have to have your mind determined when you have to have your goals set, or else you just collapse.
Yours is a very unconventional business,
Hmm.
and you scaled it up, and you and your family, your dad, and you scaled it up to a different height. For people who are there, as you said, you guys went through struggle. There are a lot of unconventional businesses which are there.
Hmm.
What is the kind of thought process you want to give them? Ki, do these things so it will work.
So, my thought process is never small, never think small, always think big. Even though right now you are billing 10 lakh rupees a month, it's fine. Do the job, do what you're doing right now. Think about how you can add new verticals to your business, because only your product doesn't work. Adding new verticals once, and branding is the most important for you. Branding is where it takes your brand to another level altogether, or else you just keep on working, but you don't get that kind of a presence in the market if you don't do the right branding to your product or to your brand.
Hmm.
So now for me, Harshdeep Hortico Limited has been a branded company in the field of horticulture. So now if I come up with new verticals, for example, an agro shade net, or maybe a new type of a planter called 3D printed planters also be coming up with a new vertical we are adding inside
Okay.
our a house. So that is how you keep on working, adding on new technologies, coming up, evolving yourself and the people around you is the best way to grow your company.
So what you're saying is one is make sure that you create a brand,
Hmm.
and second is you say ki use the modern technology to
Yes,
upscale your
upscale
business.
your business.
So which you have used both.
Yes, we are using both of them together hand in hand, or else it doesn't work the way you
How
think.
do you build a brand?
Building a brand is like sowing a seed inside the soil and just watering it. Maybe you add a few fertilizers
Hmm.
to have a better growth.
Hmm.
The fertilizers that I'm emphasizing is the trade fairs.
Hmm.
You just come out, show yourself to people, and make them have an experience to your brand.
Hmm.
What you sell, you just don't sell, you give. You
Hmm.
provide an experience. So when I sell a pot, I provide them with an experience when it comes to sales, when it comes to after sale service, or even the product or the colors of my product, is what really gives an upper hand in a sales. and in branding.
Who does the research for all this? I mean, it's you also who are always there on the go of understanding new market trends and all that.
So once you start learning how to come up with innovations, they just set in.
Okay.
You just keep an eye everywhere. Everywhere I see this plant over here, this pot I see over here. Oh, it's beautiful, but I can make it more beautiful. I can do more innovations to that. So it is your eye that has to catch everywhere.
So I think every business which is going to be want to be a market leader has to keep practicing innovation,
Innovation.
using the modern technology, think right, and be like Harshit.
It's not like
He's like Harshit to make sure that he's disciplined. No matter party karo,
yes,
enjoy karo, but he disciplines himself.
discipline is
He
the most important.
reports at work. He's there. He makes sure that he attends all the things which is needed for his business.
Correct.
Right?
So I'd like to share a small story.
Yeah.
Like as I said, the discipline, partying, and everything. So since I was a small kid, my mother used to make sure that I was the brightest kid in my classroom,
How?
scoring big,
Hmm.
doing all the projects right, winning all my competitions. So I was a gold medalist in essays, in storytelling, and I was a very big I was my school team's captain in basketball and football, and even sports has been a very major part of my life. So it was always that if you achieve this, if you achieve a milestone, this is what I'll give you. My mother,
Hmm.
for example, in my 10th standard, I scored 93% in the Delhi board CBSE. So then I was gifted a phone, a smartphone. Or else before, no. You have to own it.
Hmm.
Or else it doesn't make sense. It doesn't give you the value of that product or the gift that you have. So even right now, I always work on targets. If I achieve this, then only I'm going to enjoy this. Or else it's not worth the time, or it won't give you the satisfaction of enjoying your achievement.
Lovely, yeah. I mean, Harshit, it's such a pleasure talking to you. You've been an inspiration for many people. We want you to make notes, write book because you've been an essay guy. You said, so banao, pointers banao, and what your business has scaled up. You need to encourage people and hope this podcast brings in a lot of value to many people who have watched this show. And Harshit can be inspiration for you guys.
Thank you so much for your words to me. But it is a small kid's dream to go big. Clearly, I don't think small. E- Everything is achievable at the right time. But if you think that if I wish to go charter a flight right now, it is not possible. But in a span of 10 years, 15 years, it is achievable if you do the things in the right way.
So it said like 3 months का एक टारगेट रखो
हाँ,
फिर 3 साल का
3 साल
रखो
का
फिर
रखो.
एक 10 या 15 साल
हाँ,
का रखो
correct.
so you have to work on your targets and bring it on.
Yes.
Way to go, Harshit.
Or else you just get lost in the journey if you don't have small targets.
All the best to you.
Thank
We
you so
like to
much.
hear from you more about how we're going to watch your progress. May your IPO boom. And one last question. I mean, I
Sure.
am not stopping it here. What is the future thought you have when you're gone public now?
So it is about bringing in new values to my company, getting into new horizons. So export is something that I'm aiming big now. I have a small work shift office in Amsterdam that has been done by the younger generation of the company, going global. So we are trying our level best to compete with China right now. China is the biggest manufacturer for all products in over the world. But now India is emerging, and we wish to make our nation proud by being the only pot manufacturers of this country to export to the outside world,
And
to
it's
the
happening
Western world.
already, right?
It's happening already. We are into 6 continents already.
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank
All
you
the
so much.
best. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
so
on
much.
the show. Yeah.
Thank you.
Watching the episode and you liked it, make sure that you subscribe because it helps me and all of us here in the team to bring on some super guests on the show. Harshit has been one example of a young entrepreneur. We like to see much more charged up people on the show. So, dosto, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe as much as you can.